Hey guys, so today I'm filming my Project Use It Up 2015 / Project 50 Pan finale. If you have not seen my intro or any of my updates, I'll have my playlist linked up here in case you want to check that out. I am very sad and also excited that this project is coming to an end. I really enjoyed doing it this year and I am definitely going to be doing it next year. I'm going to pick out some specific items that I want to use up in the year and also try to do a Project 50 Pan. I found that this type of project really did help give me some long-term goals for some products that will take longer to use up than just 3 months, like in my seasonal makeup challenges. I enjoy doing both the seasonal challenges and this yearly project, so that's what I'm going to be doing in 2016 as well, which I'm really excited about. So I'll have that intro video coming soon. I've already picked out all of my items and I'm really excited about it. So let's just jump into the items that I have left. So out of all of the Project Use It Up items, I was able to finish one since the last update. This is the Tarte Matte LipSurgence in the shade Exposed. As you can see, completely used up. This is a holy grail lip product of mine. The formula and the color is fantastic. This is amazing peachy nude for my skin tone, and this is the most comfortable matte formula, but yet it's still very long lasting. So I absolutely love these. I definitely am going to repurchase this, and I want to get more shades. I wish they had a larger shade selection because the formula is fantastic. Totally worth the money. So now I'm going to show you the progress on all of the items that I was unable to complete in this yearly project. The first one is the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in the shade Candy Coral. I just fell out of love with this and I really wanted to use my powder blushes instead of this one, and my blushes are a little bit too pigmented, so I don't need this one as a base. So I definitely neglected it this year. I'm not going to carry this one over into my next year's project because I just don't know how much I'd use it. So I do think that this is a nice cream blush, especially for oily skin, but definitely not going to repurchase it, and I'm not going to put it in another project. My next item is my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, which I am using as a brow bone highlight. And I was able to make some pretty good progress on it in the past 2 months. If you can see, that is where I started. That was at the last update, and this is at the finale. And I'm totally fine with the fact that I didn't use this up. This was really just like a joint product with my Milani Brow and Eye Highlight. That product took way longer to use up than I had originally thought, so I am not upset at all that I didn't finish this one, and this one is going to be a rollover item to my 2016 Project Use It Up, so get excited about that. I think that this is a really nice brow bone highlight, but only if you have extremely fair skin like myself, or it's going to be really intense for you. This is a nice matte white eye base, but it does crease on me pretty bad. So I use this for my brow bone. Once I finish this up, I'm not going to be repurchasing this. I'm going to go back to the Milani. Then I have my beloved / dreaded Maybelline color tattoos. The first one I have would be Bad to the Bronze. This little piece of crap has been holding on for dear life. If you can see, I have the tiniest bit in here. I am so upset that I didn't finish this. I worked so freaking hard on this item. I wore it every single day in the summer. I wore it for a majority of the fall, and I'm just can't believe that there's still some left. I'm so disappointed. So this is an item that I am going to carry over into my Project Use It Up 2016, but I'm going to be retiring it until the summertime, and then I'll try to finish it up. And then my other oh my god. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so just filming my video that out of the corner of my eye I see something move, and I thought it was a mouse, and it was just an item of clothing of mine had fallen on the floor. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. So I screamed so loud. Okay. Like my heart's racing. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. So the other color tattoo I had in this project was Toughest Taupe. I think I used this twice this year. This used to be holy grail to me. I used to always wear it in my crease as a base, and I don't really put colored bases in my crease anymore because I feel like it makes my eye looks way too intense. So that's why I haven't really used this one. So I'm not going to roll this product over into next year's project. I'm really just going to leave it alone for a while, maybe try to incorporate it into more looks, hopefully fall back in love with it. And lastly, I have 3 lip products. The first one is the Revlon lip butter in the shade Berry Smoothie. This is in my current project of Finish 7 by Spring. I'll have that playlist linked up here if you want to go check out my intro video. And I am really excited to be using this one up. The reason that it hasn't been used up yet is because this is a product that I knew that I would use in the winter time. So this is one that I am going to carry over into my 2016 project Use It Up. My next lip product is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Primrose, which is holy grail to me. This is an item that I'm also going to roll over to next year's project, and I'm probably going to put this in my Finish 6 by Summer project. That way I can use up this lipstick in the springtime. And I would say that I would repurchase it, except my wonderful friend Jean already sent me a backup, but definitely excited to use this one up because it is one of the older lipsticks in my collection. And my last item from my project Use It Up would be my Buxom lip gloss in Sandy. I started out right here and I am finishing off this project down here. So I have used up about half of the product that I started with this year, which I am really proud of. It takes me a very long time to use up lip glosses. I was using this in combination with the Tarte Matte LipSurgence in Exposed, and then when I finished up that lipstick, I tried pairing this over a couple other lipsticks and I didn't like the look. So I am going to be setting this aside for a little bit. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put it in next year's project or not, but regardless, I am really happy with the progress that I've made. So now for my project 50 pan. So I told you guys in my last update that I had finished up 49 items, so I had 1 left, but I decided that I wanted to try to finish up more, so I was not going to include my Use It Up empties as part of my project 50 pan empties. So after all of these products I've used up here, I was able to use up 63 makeup items. 10 of those would be the items from my project Use It Up. So that means I was able to use up 53 makeup items this year, which I am very proud of. I am so excited, and I'm extremely glad that I decided to save all of my empties until the end of the year, because to see them all in front of me at once really makes me feel some sense of accomplishment, which might sound silly, but if you guys have as much makeup as me, I think you know what I mean. So I am going to be having a video in a couple weeks showing you literally all the makeup I used up in 2015. I'm going to be separating them to categories like these are all the primers, foundations, concealers that I used up, and giving you my very summed up thoughts, basically whether I would repurchase them or not. But I was just so proud that I finished up so many items that I wanted to dedicate an entire video showing you guys straight up all the makeup items they used up in 2015. So I hope you guys will enjoy that video and not feel it as pointless. So we'll see. I'm super stoked for it. So anyway, I'm just going to show you all of the products that I used up in the past 2 months. So the first item I used up was just a little sample of the Estee Lauder Mattifying Primer, which I really enjoy. I actually have another sample of it that I'm using right now. I love the consistency of that. The MakeUpForever Mattifying Primer is super sticky and it's not easy to blend out, but the Estee Lauder Matte Primer is really silky smooth, so it's so easy to blend out on the skin. I really enjoy it, and I definitely would contemplate purchasing it. Even though I have quite a few mattifying primers, I really do enjoy that one. The next product I finished up was the NYX Angel Veil Primer. I did cut it open and scrape out all of the product. And this is a primer that is supposed to be a dupe of the Hourglass Mineral Veil. It's supposed to be great for oily skin. It's raved about a ton. This costs $16. Definitely not worth $16. I'm not going to be repurchasing this. I think it made my skin feel nice, but it didn't do anything for oil control or for pores, which are my 2 main concerns, and that is what I look for in a primer. So definitely not going to be repurchasing this one, but it is definitely a nice primer, but it just doesn't do enough for what I'm looking for my skin. Then I finished up two foundations. The first one is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus in the shade number 20. I was just hanging on to a little tiny bit left in this, and it is completed. I do like this foundation. I do have a first impression demo, which I'll link up here, but I'm not going to be purchasing this. I do prefer my Estee Lauder Double Wear, Hard Candy Glamoflague, and my Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation. They give more coverage than this one, and they do just as good of a job at keeping me matte. So this is a nice foundation, but I'm not going to be repurchasing it. The second foundation I used up is the Hard Candy Glamoflague in the shade Porcelain. This is a holy grail foundation to me. I use this all year long as a mixing foundation with all of my foundations that were a bit too dark. This is extremely fair and it has a yellow undertone. If you are fair and yellow tone like me, you absolutely must buy this. So you have it in your life to use as a mixing foundation. It also has a great formula. It does give nice coverage. It isn't too thick or too thin. So I have already repurchased this. I am absolutely in love with this foundation. So glad that I discovered it this year. Then I finished up a Wet n Wild Fergie Mattifying Powder, which is a dupe for the NARS Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder Pressed. You guys know I love to use this to set my under eyes, and these are on sale at CVS and at Walgreens. I think they're 75% off at Walgreens and 50% off at CVS, and I was terrified that these are being discontinued, but thankfully they are just being repackaged. I think that Fergie is no longer going to be collaborating with Wet n Wild, so this is now going to be just a Wet n Wild product, not a Wet n Wild Fergie product. But I don't care about all that. All I care about is that this is not going away, and I really hope that the formula stays the same and that they're just repackaging it. I actually have 3 of them right now because I was terrified that it was going away forever, but good news, it's not. This is my favorite under eye setting powder. You only need a tiny amount, so this is great for anybody of any skin type. Even if you have really dry skin, I think that you would like this because you don't need a lot of product to set your under eye. Then I had 2 face powders I used up. The first one is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade W1 Porcelain. I do not like this powder whatsoever. It does nothing for my oily skin. I don't like the color on me. It's a little too orangey. It does give nice coverage, but I don't like the color or the formula. I know Emily Noel 83 has raved about this powder for years, but it doesn't do anything for me. I definitely am not going to be repurchasing that. It took me forever to finish up. The other powder is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 100 Translucent, which is not actually a translucent shade. It's just very fair with a yellow undertone. This is one of my holy grail powders. It gives great coverage. It has a wonderful shade. It does help keep me matte. So absolutely I'm going to repurchase this. This is definitely a holy grail favorite. I also finished up these Boots Expert Shine Control blotting papers. I got these on clearance at Target when they were getting rid of some of their Boots products, which is why I picked these up. They did an okay job of soaking up my oil. So every time I finished up a pack of blotting papers, I always try something new. So the ones that I'm using right now would be the e.l.f. On the Spot Blot Mattifying Papers. I love those. Those are ones I'm going to be purchasing from now on. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on it, I'll link my e.l.f. review video up here. So I'm not going to be repurchasing these. Then I finished up 2 brow pencils. The first one is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe. I had been hanging on to this for a while because it was so expensive. I didn't want to finish it up, but because I have so many other brow products, I wanted to just get this out of my collection. I absolutely love the formula and the color. I do love the formula of this pencil because it does draw onto brow hair and onto skin, which is really important to me. I love the very precise, fine tips, so I can really sculpt and shape my brows to be exactly how I want them to be. I would repurchase this, except for the fact that the NYX Micro Brow works just as well for me personally. I know some people think it's an absolute dupe, some people think it's not even close, but for me it is a great alternative to the Anastasia, and I would rather pay half the price for the NYX and get the same results. The other brow pencil I finished up is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Sculptor. My wonderful friend Grace sent this to me. It was in the shade Blonde, and it was a dual-ended pencil. This side here has a wax, which I didn't use. You guys know how much I love my NYX Eyebrow Shaper wax pencil, so I used that one instead. But on the other end was a brow pencil. This was really nice for filling in my brows. The color was fantastic. It was a little bit more warm, but it wasn't red, so I did really enjoy the formula and the color. It did draw onto brow hair and onto skin well. but I'm not going to be repurchasing this. I just prefer those really fine tip automatic mechanical type brow pencils than I do the ones that you have to sharpen. I just like that more precise fine tip, but the formula of this one was really nice and I did really enjoy using this. My last eye product is the Maybelline Line Stiletto Liquid Liner. I love this, but the formula has changed in the past year. I've purchased several of them and it's different. The formula sucks now. It is very, very watery. It is not opaque and I just can't jive with that. The applicator is perfection, but the formula is total crap now. The last two things I used up were some lip balms. This is the EOS Smooth Sphere in the scent Vanilla Mint, which I love. I feel like this one is really nice and moisturizing, and I do love the Vanilla Mint scent. And then I have the Smooth Stick in Sweet Mint, which you can get the stick forms at Ulta. I love both of these scents and both of these formats. I usually keep the spheres on my nightstand and I keep the sticks in my purse because these are easier to take on the go with me. The formula is the same, it's just the formats that are different. So guys, that was my Product Use It Up 2015 / Project 50 Pan finale. I am very happy with all the products I was able to finish up this year, and I'm really excited to be doing this project again next year. I would love to know your thoughts if you tried out any of these products. Thank you so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.